We're here again at Pearson, and we're going to be talking about what to do with your garden during the summertime, especially if you've cleared out the spring crops because it's too hot to manage them and you're waiting to plant for the fall. Terry?
That's a great segue. What's beautiful, Phoenix? This is another episode of our continuing classes online here at the Pearson Street Garden. So we're standing in front of this particular garden that this gardener needs to take some time off for the summer. They're going to be gone. What should we do with this bed for the next couple months?
You have a choice. You can leave it empty like this, but if you're going to leave it empty, what you do need to do is water it. I know that sounds counterintuitive,
right?
Because there's no plants in here, but what there are in here are helpful bacteria. So, to keep those happy during the heat of the summertime, we water the beds every week at least, if not a couple of times.
Just like that. Right?
Because by the time you get to planting, you want to make sure that your soil is still healthy and alive, because really soil is a living thing.
So if you let it go and don't do anything for 2 months, basically you have a dust bowl. And
you
got to start over again.
Exactly. Your other option, clearly, is to plant a cover crop, or one of the crops like Terry has planted in this next bed, which is actually a field pea or a cow pea or a black-eyed pea, which is a species of bean that does very well in the Arizona heat. So this is also planted because it's a nitrogen fixing crop, which means that having this in for the summertime will help add nitrogen to your soil so that when you're ready to plant in the fall, which would be October basically,
right,
this will be primed and ready to go for your leafy greens.
Yeah, and that's exactly why I did it. And it was really simple. I just threw some of the seeds in and they germinated like crazy, and right away, within like 2 days, they were up.
Exactly.
And if this helps my soil, so be it, because I like to keep plants in through the whole year. So I know you got to keep adding food for all the plants and all those microbes that are in there doing their thing.
Exactly. I plant year-round as well, and I also have planted field peas or cow peas this summer because in the fall I'll be prepared for my leafy greens.
And for those of you that do have a bed here at Pearson, we get irrigation all summer long, and so the water will be here. And it's non-chlorinated water, so that's even better for the soil.
It is.
It doesn't have the things that kill all those microbes.
The other thing to think about when you water is that you should be watering deeply. We don't sprinkle beds necessarily unless you have planted seeds and you're not trying to rinse the seeds out, so we use the smaller watering cans for that purpose that have a flower or rosette head.
Right.
But once the plants are established, you can take a bucket and really douse the soil, because the whole point of watering here is to make sure that we water the entire bed to a depth. Yes.
To the depth of this wood.
Yes.
Let's go look at another bed that might need some more work. Okay, Lorna, we're here at another bed, and this bed is not necessarily wrong, but there's some things that could be done a little better.
Yes.
So what exactly did he do?
Well, this is a bed that's been cleared by the gardener. You can see the remnants of some tomatoes, or green tomatoes, here on top of the soil, and you can see some of the vines have been left, all this organic matter. This isn't an incorrect thing to do, however, sometimes there's a better approach. And in this case, my approach would have been either to clear all the organic matter off of the top and put it in our composting operation, or to actually turn all of this into the bed. And when I say turn it into the bed, I would have taken a spade or a shovel and dug down as deeply as possible and gotten all this organic matter incorporated into the soil, and then I would have watered it thoroughly to aid the decomposition of this material. The real concern that I always have with this kind of organic matter is that in its decomposition, it is going to draw nutrients from your bed.
Oh.
So it's better to actually put this into our compost and let that decomposition take place there versus in your bed.
Yeah. So really that's just accelerating the process in our compost.
Yes.
There. It's not necessarily bad here, but it could be done a little better.
Yes.
Any other words of advice?
Only that when you are planting, for each season that you're going to plant, definitely make sure to incorporate more organic material into your bed. And that means compost here. And the reason we do that is because in Arizona, our natural soils tend towards alkalinity, meaning that they're basic or above a 7 in terms of the pH. And your plants are going to do better in a more neutral and more acid soil. So to do that, you add organic matter. And you also do some things that allow your plants to enjoy the food that's in these beds.
It's you're adding food.
Yes.
To the plant. So for all our gardeners, whoever's watching, we'll have the links for the information if you need to, especially the extension service.
Yes.
And again, if you see one of us around, you could ask us the question. We'll try to answer them as best we can. So thanks for attending another episode of What's Beautiful Phoenix.
All day I faced a barren waste without the taste of water, cool water. Old Ann and I, with throats burnt dry, and so